So Peter decided to do the 75 hard. For anyone listening who doesn't know what the challenge is, Peter, can you explain in just 30 seconds what the challenge is for?
Basically, it has 5 tasks that you have to complete for 75 consequent days. Task number 1 is to follow a diet of your choice. With the diet, there have to be absolutely no cheat meals and no alcohol. Rule number 2 is 2 45 minutes workout every day. One of these workouts has to be outdoors. Rule number 3 is to read 10 pages of a non-fiction book every day. Rule number 4 is to drink a gallon of water. And rule number 5 is to take a progress picture every day. There is also one more rule. And it says that if you break any of these rules, you have to return back to day number 1.
Right, and for Peter it was very interesting because he had a point where he almost had to discard the entire challenge, and he went back. We're gonna get back to this in just a moment.
Exactly.
So, Peter, what motivated you to start?
First of all, I wanted to test my strengths, if I can do it, because many people think it's a fitness challenge, but in fact it's a mental toughness challenge. And also I thought that I was lacking discipline, so this was my motivation to test how much discipline I can build over these 75 days. And maybe one more thing is to build healthy habits.
Nice. How many people started? You mentioned you had a group. How many people start at the day 1?
Okay, at day 1 it was only me and my friend from Krav Maga, who we trained together. Or actually there was one more girl.
Hi, I'm Renata Bliss.
From the same training, but she kind of took it very slowly and she made her own challenge. And after a few days, she completely lost the track and she just left our group. And a few days after us, my friend Sofia from Germany started the challenge. And there were maybe 2 or 3 more people who watched my stories on Instagram and joined the group, but they didn't finish. I think we'll talk about it a bit later. So totally, I don't count it, but it was maybe 6, 7, 8 people, something like that.
Right, so we're 6, 7, and then you mentioned not everyone finished. Can you tell us like how many people went through the entire 75?
As far as I know, we were only 3 people from this group who finished. So 3 people.
3 people, that's like half, 50% success rate.
I think that when people start this challenge, it's not like 50% success rate, it's probably much lower, but this was a highly motivated group who do exercises on a regular basis or at least pretty frequently, so hence 50%, almost 50%.
Cool. How was the process? How was the day-to-day living the challenge? Because I remember with Peter, during that challenge, we actually did another challenge where we called every single day to check in with one another. Mm-hmm. So can you talk about that?
Okay, it was pretty hard. There was this challenge and pretty much my whole life was evolving around this challenge. You have to know that I have a full-time job. I also needed to take care of my flat. I wanted to meet my friends, but it wasn't really possible. So really from the morning, which I woke up every single day at 5 a.m., I started my first workout, because otherwise I wouldn't be able to finish it till I go to sleep. I also took a progress picture.
Which, if you don't mind, we can actually put it right on the screen. Somewhere should be Peter when he started, and then this is the progress that he made in the almost 3 months.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see. And also, usually in the morning, I read the book. Right in the beginning of the day, I had most of the the most of the time-consuming tasks done, and then I could progress with my day, like work, my other stuff that I needed to do.
And then one day something happened.
Yeah.
You had a small incident. You said you walked into a cafe, and it ended up actually being the thing that you shouldn't do that reset the entire challenge. How was that?
Exactly. So everything was going very well. I was so happy that, oh my god, this challenge is not so hard that I expected from the beginning. And then I went to a cafe with my friend, and you know, when you order a coffee, they usually bring you this small biscuit, and it was a habit that I opened the biscuit, and when I was halfway through the biscuit, I said to myself, oh my god, I shouldn't have done this, and now I have to restart this challenge. At first I didn't know if I should restart or not. I kind of felt in my gut that I should have, but I was already on day 25, so I didn't really want to. So I consulted this with some guy who had gone through this challenge himself, and who I saw that he was posting some stuff on Instagram. And I consulted with him, and he asked me a question like, what are the rules? And I said, okay, these are the rules, like no cheat meal. And he said, and what do you think you did? And I was like, okay, I should probably restart. So the very next day I restarted, so it was no other cheat meal for me. This happened in the evening, so I could have at least eaten some sweet or some McDonald's or something, but I did not. I continued the next day after.
Do you think you would restart if you didn't connect with a friend?
I think yes, because I'm usually hard on myself, probably even harder than I should, and this would make me restart it. Usually when I work with people, like when I mentor people or give them some trainings or some advices, I am hard on them, so I should lead by example, and I should be also hard on myself.
I mean, I'm pretty sure there is a lot of people who, if no one would see that they have that, they would just say, they would just like, put it under the carpet, like, it doesn't count, it's just a small cookie. So your opinion is, no, the rules are that I'm supposed to have a clean diet, and then it doesn't matter that it is a habit, because that is exactly the thing that I'm trying to work on, right? Is to rebuild this habit. Okay.
Yeah, this was the goal of the challenge, to build the habits. And actually my friends who were at the cafe with me, they were like, oh Peter, come on, it's just a small biscuit, you don't have to restart the challenge. And I was like, okay, but then I would lose my integrity. So I did. And also I remember that the next day I was posting a story about it. And the girl I was dating at that time, she sent me a very nice message that Peter, I'm so proud of you that you restarted this. And I think there were 2 or 3 more messages from friends like this that they respected me for this decision.
I think it's very empowering if you have the mindset to simply restart, and don't be afraid to tell the half truth or to lie and to continue, because it's gonna really, you can't really lie to yourself, right? You can't lie to your friends, but at the end of the day, if you know that you only did it with maybe 30-40% integrity, it's not gonna give you the result. So I think the kind of key takeaway is you restarted it, but it empowered you. It did not, disempowered you and made you feel, incapable, but it maybe even made you stronger, because you said the second time, okay, this time I'm going to watch it, right?
Yeah. And also I want to mention that it is okay to fall, because life is not only about success, it brings also many failures, and it shows the people that nothing happens. You just get up from the ground and you continue where you started, and this time you will be stronger.
Right. We've been conditioned so much in our school system, especially in our country, Slovakia. If you fail, you're not good enough. And there's basically this sugar and a cane system where if you do well, you're gonna get the sugar. If you don't do well, you're gonna get caned. Not literally anymore, but you are gonna get some sort of punishment. And then we associate all these negative beliefs about failure. Oh my God, it doesn't mean that I'm a failure. It doesn't mean that I'm a loser. I'm not worthy of this. And then people are afraid to fail when in reality, if you reframe failure in something positive, it's actually going to move you closer to what you want to do. Because you can't really accomplish what you want to do if you have the old identity. You have to, shape in a new identity almost. And that sometimes takes 2, 3, 4 times before it is successful.
Yeah. I know I've heard of people who restarted this challenge like 8 times. So somebody might think what kind of losers they are. But actually they've built the habits and they finished it in their own pace, but they still made it till the end, which most people cannot do.
What would you say were the key lessons you've taken from the 75-day challenge?
One of the biggest lessons was that there is no right time to start. And I was considering to start this challenge even earlier, but then I thought, okay, I'm still going on a vacation, I still have this to do and other things. And one day I said, okay, stop. If I don't start it now, I'll probably never start it and I'll always come up with some excuses. So I started about 2 weeks before my name day, which in Slovakia it is like your second birthday. And I knew during the celebration we usually drink alcohol, we have cakes, and I told my parents that look, parents, this is very important to me. So I know I'm going to have a name day, but please don't bake any cakes for me. Also, I wasn't drinking any alcohol, which it was one of the easiest tasks for me. And I felt so much happier without the alcohol, so much fresh and productive. And also, when I celebrated with my friends, I didn't even drink like the soda waters like Coke, Sprite, and these kinds of drinks, just pure water or sparkling water. But since I had to drink a gallon of water, anyway, I wasn't really motivated to drink anymore. So this would be one lesson. Then the second lesson is this is okay to fail. We just talked about it. Then it is possible to build habits and new identity. And also the results are amazing. I mean, people don't even realize how much they can accomplish in just 3 months if they set their minds to. We will see it on the pictures, so we will talk about the results later.
Cool. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people who found this video and they haven't quite started yet. You mentioned there's never a right time to start.
Yeah.
So what is your advice to someone that's like maybe 1 foot in, 1 foot out, they want to start off but haven't really had the guts or the time to do it?
Don't think, just do it, because many times we overthink and it makes us heavy. That keeps us from achieving our goals or what we want in life.
You mentioned you had friends who supported you, and then you had civilian friends who were unaware and they suggested having the cake. Can you, before we finish, just mention how important it is to have the right people around you? What was the effects? Do you think it would be harder if you didn't have, if you only stuck with the friends that did not do the challenge, if you didn't have the group?
I mean, it would be still okay, at least if they don't discourage you from this challenge. They don't necessarily have to join the challenge with you because it's your own challenge. You cannot force anyone to go against their will. Also, I'll mention the girl I was dating at this time. 1 week in, and I visited her in another city because we lived in different cities, and I had to travel by train. So I had to get up even earlier in the morning to do my first workout. And she joined me. It was still important to me to do my workouts and to eat properly and do all this stuff when I was with her. It was much fun because it was a great date. We worked out together. What I wanted to say is that the next day we went to bed together, and I set my alarm on I think 6 a.m. But I got up anyway. I let her sleep. I didn't force her to get up with me or go to exercise with me. I did my workout and I returned. So and this was attractive for her. But back to the question, if it is important to have this group of people that support you, it is definitely better if you have these kind of people. But if you don't, then I would say still go and do it yourself. And if you finish it, you will prove all these people that you stand after your values. And they will respect you if they didn't respect you before. And if they don't respect you, maybe then you can think if they are the right people who you should have in your life.
Thank you so much, Peter, for coming on today. It's been a pleasure to speak with you, and I want to invite you guys to subscribe to this channel because we're going to have a lot of cool videos coming. And Peter has been my friend for more than a year now. We've called last year, and we had a first meeting that was about 2-hour long phone conversation. And I knew that I have to meet you this year. So it's been my pleasure to meet you. He's been very inspirational for me in a lot of things. And again, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, smash the like and subscribe button. Post in the comments if you have any questions for Peter.
I will answer.
Yeah, he's going to reply to them personally. And that's it. Thank you so much.